All right, moving right along, we're going to continue with this idea of working with blending modes, building backgrounds that we can use for our still life, and let's look at something that I'm going to show you how I built this. I don't know the word for it other than to sort of look like an old painting that's been faded a little bit. So if you go to, like when I was in England, and I went to some of the big palaces, and you see these paintings on the walls, and a lot of them are in textbooks and stuff, but they restore them a lot of times, but they get kind of a muted sort of, I don't know, I'm colorblind, but a brownish kind of muted look to them. And so here we have an image of Robert that I used. I shot this for Adobe Max in Russell Brown's class, and we did cross light. There's the Rembrandt cross light, and I shot all these subjects on gray, 50% gray. Then I added the texture later, so I wasn't locked in. But I added these. I built these really like sort of England, Oxford, backgrounds, palaces and stuff. And I made one of them look like an old painting. So I didn't know how to do that. I didn't have a tutorial on it. I just started working away. And so I'm going to show you how I do that. Let me hit Tab. And this is the exact, well, I say exact. Let me show you. This is the original. That one is the exact one that I used for all the still lifes that I've been showing you. We're going to do a retouch of one of those still lifes in a minute, and we're going to use, I think, the radishes, use this background. But let me show you. Here's without the image of Oxford in there, and here is vignette, saturation, levels, and then there's the background. So let's take it off of overlay for a second. That's the background that I got from flypapers.com. So let's go back to overlay because I don't want to forget this. Go back and set this up. So once I had this image, then I tapped and made it into this. Now it's all built on this gray layer here. And I'm not really sure why I did this. This was like 3 years ago. There was a reason why I did that. I built it to make it look this kind of faded look. Anyways, that's at the very bottom. It's 50% gray. All you do is Shift Command. Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can go Shift Command N and say, okay, blank layer, fill it with 50% gray. There it is. Boom. There's your 50% gray layer. I did that as my base. And then there's my original set, and the reason why I'm calling it original, I'll tell you in a minute. And then here's my background at, well, let's say 50%, roughly 50%. Let's go 100%. It's a little too, looks a little too good. So we want to fade it over time, like 500 years hanging on a wall. So that's about there. We could probably pull this back a little bit if you really wanted. I don't know. At any rate, that's what I ended up doing. Now, why I call this original and I have a new set is because this background here and this one, whoops, there was two backgrounds, and I used a duplicate. I don't know if that's what that was for. Anyways, this background, kind of crackly. I don't own those. I have bought those. I cannot go and hand those and give those to you. You can go buy those, flypapertextures.com. They're not very expensive. Or you can have my backgrounds that I created in a bunch of old missions and stuff that I've photographed. So let me show you. There's the brownish kind of, it's an overlay at 50%. It's a, let's see if we can find it. It is, I want to show you the original of that bridge. It is right here. Okay. I'll give you guys that one, and then the other one that I'm going to give you, or it'll be a part of that package, is this one, and we used that in the earlier tutorial. So Those are my two backgrounds. And I got my vignette. I got a little desaturation because, boy, if you don't desaturate, it's really orange. And being a colorblind person, I got to be really careful I don't get too orange. All right. So that's the new set. It almost looks exactly, there's the old set, new set. Very close, okay? I almost think I like this one better than the other one. But I had built that one a couple years ago. So then I'm dropping in my photograph here at 50%. So that ends up in the background of, let's see, I'm got parts and pieces in every direction here. So let's go, I know how I can find it. We go here and I hit this. That's how I use it in the still life. So why did I do that? I don't know. I just had those backgrounds. I tried them and, oh, I like that. I'm working on a theme. Remember, I keep saying, build a body of work, build a theme, repeat something over and over again, get better at it, get really good at your vision. And so that's what I did. I like it. I'll say this again. I'm going to say it probably throughout this masterclass. I say it every time I give lectures. Don't follow Joel Grimes' vision. Hopefully I have a starting point for you. I'm teaching you some of these techniques. Don't go and copy me 100%. In fact, it's not to your advantage that you do that. You want to be your own artist, your own vision. And it's true that you could take this and go beyond and do it a lot better than me. And you can do that. I'm just saying, don't go and say, oh, Joel did this exactly, this percentage, whatever, and this background, this everything. I do have, and I don't know because I have to look, but I do sell some backgrounds now. I fought it for years. My web marketing team that took over my tutorials, they twisted my arm, literally twisted my arm and said, we need to get some of these people some of your backgrounds. And so I compiled a bunch of stuff. I think a couple of these Oxford images are in that series. But because some of you say, oh, I've never been to England or whatever. You can buy stock photos online if you want to use an old Oxford image that you can't go to some castle or whatever. I personally like to use my own images because then I can say it's all mine. But for a background like that, I don't know. You guys might want to take a look at those. But I'm not trying to promote you buying those. They're there for you to take a look at. But be your own artist. Be your own vision. Go and create something that you can put in a gallery, and hopefully I can have this in a gallery and you can put your stuff next to mine and they don't look exactly the same. So that's the goal here. Learn from me, but build your own vision.